Welcome to Celebrity Investing, your go-to source for insights, tips, and updates on navigating the exciting landscape of personal and global finance. Please like, share, and subscribe for more exclusive content. This is part 1 of smart ways to save money when your budget is tight. Saving money on a tight budget might seem impossible, but it's more doable than you think. When every dollar counts, having a clear plan can make all the difference. The key is focusing on small changes that add up over time. Whether you're cutting unnecessary expenses or finding smarter ways to stretch what you have, anyone can take steps to start saving, even with limited income. Understanding your financial situation. Before you can save money, you need to know exactly where you stand financially. Understanding your financial situation isn't just about math, it's about clarity. Once you get a clear picture of your income, expenses, and habits, it becomes much easier to identify ways to save. Let's break this down step by step. Assess your income. The first step is knowing how much money is coming in. This isn't just your paycheck but all sources of household income. Include any side hustles, child support, government benefits, freelance work, or passive income streams. If the amount fluctuates, like with freelance work or tips, calculate an average based on the past 3 to 6 months. How to calculate your monthly income? Add up all income streams for the month. For irregular earnings, total up a few months' worth and divide by the number of months to find an average. Don't forget to subtract taxes or deductions if you're looking at gross income instead of take-home pay. Once you've tallied your income, compare it to the money you actually have left after bills and expenses. If it feels like your paycheck mysteriously disappears, this process can help you pinpoint why. Identify fixed and variable expenses. Next, break your spending into 2 categories, fixed expenses and variable expenses. This makes it easier to see which areas are flexible and where you might save. Fixed expenses are the non-negotiable bills you pay every month. These don't change often and might include rent or mortgage payments, utility bills, loan payments, like car loans or student loans, insurance premiums. On the other hand, variable expenses are more unpredictable and depend on your lifestyle choices, groceries, gas or transportation costs, dining out, entertainment, clothing. Write everything down and assign a dollar amount to each item. Fixed expenses are harder to adjust, but variable expenses often offer room for cuts. For instance, could you switch to a cheaper grocery store or skip that subscription service you rarely use? Track spending habits. Tracking your spending reveals where your money really goes, not where you think it's going. Many people are surprised to find they're spending more on small things, like coffee stops or takeout lunches, than they realize. Here are some effective ways to track your spending. Use budgeting apps like Mint, YNAB, You Need a Budget, or PocketGuard. These can link to your bank accounts and categorize spending automatically. Try a spreadsheet. If you prefer manual tracking, create columns for categories like groceries, dining, and entertainment. Update it daily or weekly. Go old school. Keep receipts and write down every expense in a notebook. Once you've tracked for a month, look for patterns. Are there purchases you didn't think much about but added up quickly? Are you paying for services you barely use? This process helps highlight easy ways to cut back. Little changes, such as brewing coffee at home or choosing generic brands at the store, might not feel like much at the moment, but they can build up to significant savings over time. Creating a realistic budget. Building a realistic budget is a cornerstone of saving money, especially when funds are tight. A good budget isn't just about numbers, it's a plan that reflects your priorities, keeps you organized, and ensures you're working toward your goals. Here's how to create one that works for you. Set financial goals. Before diving into numbers, take a moment to think about why you're saving. Giving your budget a purpose makes it easier to stick with, even when sacrifices are required. Start by setting financial goals that are both realistic and meaningful to you. Short-term goals could include creating an emergency fund, paying off a small debt, or saving for a specific purchase like a new appliance. These goals are typically achievable within a few months to a year. Long-term goals might involve saving for a home, building a retirement fund, or tackling larger debts like student loans. These take more time and planning but are equally important. Make your goals specific and measurable. Instead of saying, "I want to save money," reframe it as, "I want to save $500 for emergencies in 6 months." Knowing your goals not only keeps you motivated but also helps you prioritize where your money should go. The 50-30-20ths rule. If you're unsure how to structure your budget, the 50-30-20ths rule is a simple and effective framework. It divides your after-tax income into 3 categories: 50% for needs, cover essentials like rent, utilities, groceries, and transportation. 30% for wants. This is for non-essentials like entertainment, dining out, or hobbies. 20% for savings and debt repayment. Use this portion for building your savings or paying off high-interest debt. When money is tight, you may need to adjust these percentages. For instance, you might reduce wants to 10% and increase savings to 25%. The beauty of this rule is its flexibility. It's more of a guideline than a hard and fast rule. Adapt it to fit your current situation while still prioritizing savings and needs. Adjusting budget to prioritize savings. When creating a budget, it's easy to focus only on immediate expenses and forget about savings. But even small contributions can grow over time. If saving feels impossible, here are some strategies to carve out space in your budget. Cut back on unnecessary expenses. Take a close look at spending habits and identify areas to trim. Could you cancel unused subscriptions, dine out less often, or switch to a cheaper cell phone plan? Automate your savings. Set up an automatic transfer to a savings account every payday, even if it's just $10 or $20. This makes saving consistent and removes the temptation to skip it. Reallocate funds. Treat savings like a non-negotiable expense. If you're struggling to balance your budget, try shifting money from more flexible categories like entertainment or clothing. Embrace frugal habits. Small changes, like meal prepping instead of ordering takeout, or shopping sales for household essentials, can free up extra cash without drastically changing your lifestyle. Think of your budget as a work in progress. Your financial situation and priorities might shift over time, so it's okay to revisit and tweak it as needed. By focusing on your goals and cutting back where it makes sense, you can create a budget that not only works but also sets you up for saving success. Essential money saving strategies. When money is tight, it's crucial to get creative and resourceful with every dollar. The good news? There are practical ways to cut back on expenses without making life feel miserable. Small tweaks in your everyday habits can lead to significant savings over time. Let's take a closer look at some strategies you can start using today. Cutting back on subscriptions and memberships. One of the easiest ways to start saving is by taking control of your subscriptions. Streaming services, gym memberships, and other recurring charges can quietly drain your wallet if you aren't paying attention. Start with an audit of all your subscriptions. Log in to your bank account or credit card statements and list every recurring payment you see. Honest, are you really using all of them? It's easy to lose track of a service you signed up for months ago. Cancel unused memberships. If you rarely use the gym or forgot about that magazine subscription, it's time to let it go. Combine services or downgrade plans. Platforms like Netflix and Hulu let you share accounts with family or switch to a cheaper plan. Pause subscriptions when needed. Services like Spotify or meal kits often allow you to pause payments instead of canceling outright, which is great for temporary savings. Think of your subscriptions like a closet. If you haven't worn that app, service, or membership in months, it's time to clear it out and keep only what adds real value. Meal planning and grocery shopping tips. Food is one of the highest variable expenses for most households, which means it's also an area where you can save big. Rather than cutting groceries to the bone, focus on smarter habits like planning and reducing waste. Meal planning. Planning your meals in advance ensures you're only buying ingredients you'll actually use, no more forgotten veggies liquefying in the crisper. Start by checking what's already in your fridge and pantry. Plan meals around what you have and what's currently on sale. Batch cook items like soups or casseroles to save time and money. Stay tuned and continue to watch our videos to gain valuable insights into the world of finance. Subscribe, like, and share to continue your journey to financial success.